When it comes to pigs, he can spot the difference between Yorkshire and Berkshire. But understanding the cerebellum, cerebrum, and other parts of the brain is his specialty. Meghanreistad is with a gifted doctor whose values acquired from his youth on a hog farm helped him become one of the top brain surgeons in the Midwest.
So I have a kind of interesting story. I grew up in West Michigan. My dad is a pig farmer. I grew up on a hog farm.
From a hog farm to the Medical College of Wisconsin, Dr. Nathan Zwagerman is now a brain surgeon.
I do minimally invasive brain surgery. I do surgery through what's called keyhole surgery. So I do it through small incisions, either behind the ear or by the eye or through the nose. And so we do these smaller operations to take out pretty large tumors.
He says it was early on when he realized farming wasn't for him.
I was the oldest of 4 boys. And over the course of time, I realized that pig farming wasn't for me. To the disappointment of my father, my dad and my grandfather farmed together, and I was being groomed to take over the farm as I grew up, but that wasn't something I was interested in, and so I took my first opportunity I could to get out of the farming scenario.
He loved to play. He loved,
Loved to fight with his brothers.
He loves to fight. Yeah, he was always the oldest. He was always on top.
Very competitive. Very competitive.
Back on the farm, his parents, Cheryl and Thomas Zwagerman, say they're happy he found his fit.
None of us went to college, so even the idea of our oldest going to college, he was kind of a break the mold type of a person.
Nathan says it's the hard work he put in growing up that motivated him to become the surgeon he is today.
You know, as different as those worlds are, they're largely the same. So I grew up and I worked 7 days a week. And now this is just my life. I work every day, not always at the hospital, but I'm always working to my wife's disappointment. But this is how I've always been. And so this is the world I've always known.
Sometimes I wonder if he's worked harder than a farmer, because when I went to visit him one time, he had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and do rounds, and sometimes he doesn't come back till 8, 9 o'clock at night, which I said, well, I told him, you should have been a farmer because you're working that many hours anyway.
Whenever my dad gets together with his friends and they ask about his oldest son and what his oldest son is up to, he just tells them, he couldn't cut it on the farm, so he had to go into brain surgery. And so it gets a lot of mileage out of that joke, but at the same time, it's funny and it's true. And like I said, my dad's quite proud of what we've accomplished here and quite proud of me.